All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I am Erica Bergfeld-Reed with Kirkwood Training and Outreach Services, and we're excited to have you today to join us as we hear about the 3 business assumptions that will kill your business. To share her knowledge and expertise, we have Andrea Olson, the founder and CEO of Prag'madik, with us today. If you have any questions while Andrea is doing the webinar, there is a chat box feature at the bottom of the Zoom screen. You can see on the screen right now directions. Go ahead and type those questions in there, and I will help coordinate that during the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So at Prag'madik, Andrea leads a team of industrial marketing experts. She is a nationally recognized speaker on marketing and innovation, particularly in the industrial and manufacturing space. She's spoken at a number of events across the country, and she's also a published author of the book No Disruptions. This book provides manufacturing leaders an easy educational read on how to optimize revenue generation through marketing, branding, and effective technology implementation. And just as a fun fact to throw out there, Andrea has traveled over to 10 different countries. So with that, Andrea, welcome this morning, and I will turn it over to you to begin the webinar and share your expertise with us this morning.
Well, thank you so much, Erica, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. Again, my name is Andrea Olson, and today we are going to cover what I like to entitle the three business assumptions that will kill your company. Now, there's actually 10 business assumptions altogether, but in lieu of the time we have today, we're just going to cover 3 of these. So the first thing to talk about here is that we have seen it time and time again, that many companies, especially in manufacturing, are successful in spite of themselves. And why is this? We've seen that many companies grow over multiple decades, and yet there's no new innovations. Maybe there's no new modern processes or technical infrastructure within the organization. They're doing things the old-fashioned way. So why is this? Well, specifically in manufacturing, leadership oftentimes was handed down through multiple generations. And the challenge is that these multiple generations haven't really learned what the founding great-grandfather had. He started the business through an experience and knowledge by pulling it up from the bootstraps. He had to wheel and deal and really focus on the customer to change the way the business trajectory went. And his children and his children's children never really experienced an environment outside of that company. They oftentimes start at maybe the shop floor within that organization and move up to a management or C-level position, but they're not bringing in outside ideas from other businesses or experiences other than possibly formal education. Now, that passion that the great-grandfather had also is something that really can't simply be handed down. It's something that you have to experience as a business owner and developer, and you have to have a little bit of pressure to try to focus on how do I build the business and taking time to really listen to customers, rather than having a business that's already formed, already set, and you simply have to maintain that business. So as these companies matured, the children and the grandchildren are using their grandparents' original recipe, but the problem is they've lost that entrepreneurial spirit, that drive and momentum and customer-centric focus that really got the business started in the first place. So second or third generation companies, the problem is that they're generally stuck in their comfort zones. And the problem is there's a big change on the horizon that's going to impact how they do business in the future. And that silent killer, that thing that's coming, that's going to really limit their long-term growth and potential, is that belief of this is the way we've always done things. Now, many organizations do have a mission, vision, values. They have a belief system, but there's a difference between following a mission and keeping focus on the big picture versus resisting change and continuous improvement. And this is where we come into what I call the 10 business assumptions that will kill your company. And these all tie back to the fact that if an organization is stuck in status quo, if they have a set of beliefs that they are not planning to change from, and leadership is not open to change, then the organization will start to stagnate. The first business assumption is, I know my competitors. Now you would think, well, yes, we're fully versed on who our competitors are. We've done research. We know their background. We know where they sell and who they sell to and what they sell. But there's a difference. You might know your existing competitors today, but what does the future market look like? What competitors are you not considering? If you think about today's advancements in technology and the changes that have occurred even faster and faster now over the last couple decades, your industry might be completely upended depending on how technology goes. We've all heard about things like 3D printing, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0. These types of technologies, even though they're not maybe impacting your business today, how are they impacting your operations in the future? How are they going to change the competitive landscape? Is suddenly a tech company going to become a competitor of yours when in the past they never were? What about the industry as a whole? Where is that going? Are people moving towards more digital applications, remote applications? Are competitors actually expanding their portfolios into different areas of industry? These are the types of things that from a strategic perspective, you need to take a look at from a broader picture. And that's the challenge, is many small to mid-market organizations will say, nope, I know my competitors, here's my top 5. And that's all good and well, but the problem is it's not forward-looking. It's only looking at today. The second assumption is, I know my customers. And this is a little bit of second verse, same as the first. You know who your customers are today. You know your top 10% of customers. You know where your revenue is coming from. You know what they're buying, and you know the frequency of what they purchase. But again, if we're looking at that competitive landscape, we're looking at where technology is going. We're looking at where new competitors could be coming from left field. That also is going to bring new customers. And it's important to look at not just your existing customers, but new customers in regards to long-term growth. We all tend to focus on increasing share of wallet, and that strategy centers around adding products to your portfolio, which can be costly and time-consuming. And that's always a good approach, but the challenge is, how can you grow exponentially? How can you really increase your customer base? And so that means new people in new markets and understanding where those opportunities lie. It doesn't start with just a market analysis and saying, okay, we can go into market X or Y, and we already have the products for it. But coupling that with, where is the competition going? Where's the future state of our industry? In addition to, where are those growth markets? Where are there emerging markets that we can capitalize on early and get in on to get our name up front and to be ahead of the curve? This is really the key to long-term growth. The third assumption is, I don't need marketing, I just need more sales. And we've talked to hundreds of different manufacturers here all across the Midwest, and it's a common theme. They say that their business is running just fine, everything's functioning great. We do need more sales, but that's really all we need. But sales isn't really a root problem. The root problem is always something else. Marketing is really originally designed to prep the prospects for the sales force. If you think about the sales cycle, no one will purchase from you until they know you exist. And they will never purchase from you until they know you exist and what you offer, and so on and so forth. They also need to understand what you offer, how it's different, how it's positioned, what makes you unique, and what unique attributes you have that you can provide to them that no competitor can. So marketing isn't simply, and oftentimes used this way in manufacturing, is the make it pretty department. It's the organization that manages the trade shows and the website and updates collateral materials. And the problem is that's really underutilizing a highly expensive resource, because marketing can be costly. You have a lot of different people that need different skill sets, and you have an outlay of production, whether that's physical or digital materials, that tend to be expensive. So you need to have marketing as an infrastructure of strategy of where you're going to use marketing to help shorten the sales cycle, where you can use marketing to help enter some of these new markets or address competitors in a way that is more strategic than just saying we also have this same product or we also have this same offering. So marketing is actually a much bigger thing outside of advertising and promotions. Marketing gives you an opportunity to actually strategically connect with targeted audiences and subsets of those audiences. And marketing really is designed to be much more of a strategic approach to how you enter and go to market. So it's hard because it's very vague. It's kind of an abstract department and concept, and it's easy to bring it down to tactics. But tactics have really no value unless you understand what you're trying to accomplish with those investments. So marketing is definitely a big piece of the pie, and if it's underutilized, that's something that's going to keep holding you back. Now, we said that we're going to have 3 assumptions, but today we're going to give you a bonus assumption. We're going to give you number 4. And number 4 is similar to number 3 in that we've heard a lot, our collateral or our sales tools or our marketing tools just need a refresh, right? Maybe they haven't been updated in 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year or more. And all we really want to do is just make sure they look pretty and they don't look dated. But is that really a strategy? If you spent $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 updating your collateral materials, what would you feel is the expected return? Many companies look at that because they feel they haven't addressed it in a long time and they feel obligated to do so. And those collateral materials, if they weren't working before, an update or a visual refresh isn't going to change that. The purpose of every sales tool and marketing mechanism has to be designed around a strategy. What are you using it for, and what are you trying to accomplish with that activity? So that can be anything from a technical data sheet, all the way to a brochure, all the way to the website. It doesn't mean that every one of these sales tools is going to convert someone directly to a sale. It goes back to the sales cycle, and you're moving someone along a continuum. You're trying to build a message over time and help educate people and help them understand what you offer and the differences thereof. And so that story needs to build. Everyone is in a different buying stage. Some people are just simply looking around and trying to identify what products and offerings are out there. Others are narrowing it down to a set of, let's say, 2 or 3 candidates that they're looking to purchase from and doing an evaluation to understand the differences between those companies and offerings. Some are now then down to maybe price. And that's where marketing can come in and sales can come in to show added value. All the soft things that are around your products and organization that help shape those differentiators. And that can be anything from customer service to tech support to visibility to customer data. These types of things are excellent tools to help differentiate you, especially if you have something that's maybe considered more of a commodity product. So every sales tool, every marketing tool has to be developed around a strategy of what you're trying to accomplish with that investment. Because if you look at them as costs, then they will remain costs and they will be cut over time each year out of the budget. The intent is saying, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And what am I trying to achieve out of that? So that's kind of just a little quick synopsis of our 10 business assumptions. We went over 4 today. There's more information with Kirkwood Community College on this same subject. I wanted to share a little bit of my contact information. You can feel free to reach me by email, Twitter, our websites, as well as LinkedIn. And I do have a book that expounds on this subject and many more called No Disruptions, the New Future for Mid-Market Manufacturing. That is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And at this point, I'd like to hand it back over to Erica.
All right, thank you, Andrea. What a great webinar and information that you shared. I know that what you shared today was information you had shared previously with our financial roundtable group. And so I wanted to let everyone know who's on the webinar today that if you're wanting to learn more about these 10 assumptions and wanting to hear more about subjects like this, I invite you to contact us to learn more about our CFO roundtable group that we have. This is a group of peers that meets every other month for about 3 hours. And they really have structured and unstructured conversations on strategy, focus, daily struggles, very topics like Andrea presented on today. So this roundtable is open to manufacturing companies, and they meet every other month. Their next meeting is in October. So if you have any questions or would like to learn more about the CFO roundtable that we have, please feel free to contact me, 319-398-5888. Otherwise, thank you for listening.